Before I start, obviously I want to say thank you to quite a few people who have commented about the channel. Oddly enough, it's when I've been speaking about the channel on other people's channels, trying to promote it and everything. People have said obviously about the content's great and that we are actually doing work on the cars and stuff, which obviously why wouldn't I be doing work on the cars as a car enthusiast? Fire. Good morning, tubers. First of all, apologies that there wasn't a video last week. The footage you'll see in this video is from last week. There just wasn't enough footage, basically. So there was no point in really uploading it. I just think it's 5-minute video is probably not going to be really worth it, even though possibly it might have more of a steady attendance rate to watching the video. But it's just one of those things. I just thought there's no point in doing it, so I've just kept it. So this footage you'll see in this video is from last week and this week, as in right now. Okay, so obviously I didn't get much done as what I wanted to do before. I've cleaned some of the engine bay up and started spraying a bit of primer down so that I can have a couple more coats and I'm ready for the black. But what I'm going to do is I need to take the rocker cover off because it needs repainting anyway, and I think I might take the inlet manifold off anyway and give that a nice bit. I think a black crinkle finish would look really nice on that, and we have got a bit of paint left from Gregor's stuff, so I think I'll probably do that. But let's just get this off first. Now these are really susceptible to obviously leaking from the sides and everything, so when it's on the engine the principle of removing it is exactly the same. What you have got to do, depending on 1.6 or 1.8, you're going to have to remove the bolts for your coil packs. So let's get a magnetic tray. Put the bolts in. So you've got two. There is actually 3 on the coil packs on. One of them, which you probably can't see in the viewfinder anyway, it's right under the back. Good tip, if you do have to remove the coil packs for any reason, let's tell you what, I'll show you. I'll take the camera off here. If you ever have to remove the coil packs for any reason whatsoever, when you do remove it, that hole there, I've already taken the bolt out, get an angle grinder, cut it. Then what happens is, because this is obviously behind the back of the wire in front of behind the back of the engine and the bulkheads there, it's really hard to get to it. So what you want to do is, if you slit it, you can drop it over the bolt. Far easier to sort then. And then all you've got to do is undo these 2, and that's it. Most people only run 2, but at least you know that it's a quick and easy sort of fix. So okay, now what should happen is, it should just lift off. Now obviously if this is on the car, make sure you've got nothing hanging around that's going to drop in. There we go. Ta-da! Now, what I was saying about the gasket, it's obviously, you want to be replacing this if you do take it off, because they are buggers for leaking down the back. So mine's on the new one anyway about 2 or 3 months ago, so we're going to keep this one on. When it's off, just inspect it. See what the oil's like. You shouldn't, if it's not been changed in a while, especially not the oil, you're going to get like black, thick carbony type deposits up here, which are really bad anyway. And also the oil goes a bit treacly. So just check it over, make sure it's all okay before you do put it back on, and give it a clean. Obviously we're going to be cleaning up the outside edge, but in terms of the gasket, that's the gasket. I don't need to change that. I know that one doesn't leak. The next thing we're going to do is remove the inlet manifold, because this I'm going to paint with Crinkle finish paint. There she is. Rocker cover's getting painted, crinkle finish on the inlet manifold. I've checked things like the belt, which I know I'd only changed a couple of months ago, about nearly a year ago. Everything else is kind of alright. I did rotate the engine over and give the lobes a quick check. This motor, considering that it's my second motor because I killed the first one, the lobes are fantastic on it. I mean, they are brilliant, so that's a good thing. There's no lifter tick on this motor anyway, so at least I know I'm putting a good motor back in. The engine bay is near enough about as good as it's going to ever get. Apart from there's been a bit of a reaction here, so I'm going to sand that down and then prime it and then repaint it. But I think, all being well, the engine might be going in next weekend. Woohoo! So, in that manifold, just had its last lick of UHT. It's getting there. See, it's a crinkle finish, I think Gregor bought. There's a little bit left in the tin. Gregor, don't worry, I have replaced it. I've ordered another one for you. But that should look pretty good on the car. Obviously now I need to prep that area for trying to get a nice paint job on that. Quick sand, because obviously there's some bits that really need redoing. So I'm going to sand it a bit more because it looks like I've got some sort of overspray on there from something else. Don't think it's in that manifold because it was out of the way. Think of your lungs. Anyway, just laid down some more primer. That's gone down quite nice. I'm going to let that dry off. Let's focus. Obviously the other thing I need to do is remove this top plastic and give it just a bit of a spruce. All it needs is a wash basically. It's a bit grimy around the bottom, so I'm just going to take it off. Just lift out. There we go. Obviously, like I say, it's a bit mucky. Like I say, it just needs a bit of a clean up. Maybe a bit of a spruce. Alright, yeah. Let's get the torch and just have a look down. I did change the cam belt less than 5,000 miles ago, so I know that everything down there is going to be okay. Yeah, the pulleys are alright. That belt's not too bad. Yeah. Need to muck about with that at all. You probably can't tell in the camera, but that's been cleaned up now. You might be able to tell the detritus is gone. Depends on the light in here. Yeah, it looks pretty sweet. It should look a bit nicer when it's on the car. When it's on the engine. So, slide this into position. While I'm waiting for some of the paint to dry on the inlet manifold and rocker, may as well take a look at the CAS. I believe there's a dab of oil at the back here. It was a bit dirty, so it was either the gasket, which the gasket's brand new, so it's doubtful it's that, which means it's going to be the CAS O-Ring. So what we'll do is we'll take it off, we'll have a look before I start to fully undo the CAS nuts and everything and the retainers. I will make a marker with it. Now, to be honest, the cams aren't moving anyway, so it's not going to be too much of a problem, and I will possibly re-timing it up anyway. So what we'll do, and we'll just make a mark, get them lined up when we bolt it back in. I believe I've got some O-rings that will fit. So basically, to undo it, you've got a retainer there, which obviously stops you from undoing the top bolts, but then you've got the adjustment bolt at the side, which needs to come out. And you've got the ones at the top. Sneaking suspicion you do. Yeah. Okay, there we go. And that actually plops. One CAS. So obviously I'm not going to play about moving the actual CAS wheel itself. And basically all that does, this is keywayed, and it just goes into the back of your cam. But what always goes is that seal. Now I think that seal has actually gone. So, the O-ring. Okay. It's neat as one of these hooks. As soon as I started trying to prise it out, You'll probably see there it's split. And this is what I've got. Basically an assortment of metric O-rings. Bought them probably, well my dad actually bought them from a auto jumble, gosh, 15 years ago. Right, old one, new one. If I put those together, I'd say they look about right. Then just simply slide it over. That's nice and tight. Doesn't move around now. Like I say, these aren't as wide, but I don't think those are when they're new. It's because they've been crushed in. So let's just see. So what we'll do, it doesn't matter if we'll take this out at a later date again. We'll give the aperture a clean, and then we can slide the CAS back in. Obviously we don't want to do those up now, right now, because obviously we wouldn't be able to get it in with the new CAS seal. So side adjustable one in. If you're changing your CAS O-ring anyway, you're going to be wanting to retime it, no doubt. So as much as yes, you can change it without having to worry about doing the timing, it's probably best just to retime it. And also if you're NA, you've got the original NA as well, MX5 with the CAS, you could do your 14-degree time model. Right, engine span round. Let's give those ports a bit of a wipe. On the bench, you can see it's had a bit of oil leaked out of it, which that's usual for the inlet manifold to have a bit of oil in it. Just give it a wipe. To be honest, these are pretty good for not leaking anyway, so you don't tend to have to worry. That looks alright. Yeah. There we go. Okay. Right, we'll put the gasket back on the engine. We'll slide this back on. There we go. She's placed in. So let's just put some of these on just so it doesn't fall off. Looks quite nice, that does. Take you off my video window and walk around. You can see the shiny bits where it's just a little bit wet. Just in there. It looks quite nice. Look at that. Much better. Once we get the rocker cover back on, that's going to look lovely. Now, just demasked it. Looks much better now it's demasked. The rocker cover's been placed on. Check this out. Yeah, that looks absolutely sweet. And I still need to kind of lacquer that rocker cover, but that looks amazing. I might not lacquer it actually because the paint, the actual colour of it is amazing. It's popping brilliantly. Looks absolutely amazing. That is sweet. Right guys, that's about it for today. Obviously I've got quite a bit done, which makes up for the lack of stuff being done last week, hence why these two videos will be combined. The rocker cover is basically baking itself from the inside now. Sit on top of the logwood burner with on top of a brake disc from a Ford Capri. So that's lacquered and sorted and basically looking awesome, so that should go on. Obviously, as you saw earlier, it does look nice when it's on. The inlet manifold is looking awesome as well, and that's nicely bolted up, so that's ready and sorted. The front plastics are nice and clean, which makes it look a little bit better and cleaner. I still need to do the alternator, which that's coming off next week anyway. Apart from getting the exhaust manifold back and chopping that, it's ready to go. So I think, to be honest, next week we'll be putting the motor back in. So you never know, fingers crossed, there might be a firing up video on it, which this thing is going to be loud. And I am going to be making changes to the exhaust, but that's secret squirrel. Shh, match your finger. So yeah, we're ready. We're there. I'm really getting stoked to get it going and seeing what this thing can do. Hopefully, as we get the turbo back. If not, I will run on the T25 for a while before putting the TDA4 15T in, once that actually does turn on. So that's about it. Again, like I said before, bring the camera around to me. Again, like I said before, thank you everybody who commented about the channel. That's brilliant. I'm glad that other people are enjoying it and noticing the content and seeing that we're actually doing things and we're actually getting noticed, which is fantastic. I haven't done this to make money or be one of these big YouTubers. If that happened, amazing, but we're not doing it for that. It's really just that we enjoy doing it, and people ask about the car, and might as well document it and ask about the other cars and stuff, so that's the reason why we document them. But again, the kind words are brilliant. I really do appreciate them, to be honest. The shop is again still open. I'm unsure, due to having the flu and everything. I don't know whether the free UK shipping's still on. I will find out. Check out Instagram. Obviously there'll be updates on there, but the shop's still open. There is new designs on there as well already, so check them out. Fantastic pickup one. That's great. The new stickers are on the way as well, so there'll be the other part of the shop will be online for the stickers. And that's about it really. So anyway, I shall see you in the next one. Hit that like, hit subscribe, hit the share, and I shall see you next week. Peace.